Jai Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rāma Hare Rāma 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rāma Hare Rāma 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rāma Hare Rāma 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rāma Hare Rāma 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 Hare Hare Jayo Kṛṣṇa Balaram Jayo Kṛṣṇa Balaram Kṛṣṇa Balaram Jayo Kṛṣṇa Balaram Jayo Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam Lalita Vishaka Jayo Radhe Shyam Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jam Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivarajakacarya Ashtotara Sat Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtotara Sat Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Jayam Vishnupada Srila Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Jayam Vishnupada Vaishnava Sarabhama Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Jai Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha Sadhu Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopika Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Mayapur Dham ki jai. Gangamai Yamunamai ki jai. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Hare Rāma Sankirtan ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. ISKCON Vartamana Guru Vrinda ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hare Hare Bol. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome everyone. Today we are studying chapter 8, shloka 13. Om iti eka-akṣaram brahma. Vyāharan mama anusmaran. Prayāti tyajan deham. Yāti paramāṁ gatim. Om iti eka-akṣaram brahma. Vyāharan anusmaran. Prayāti tyajan deham. Yāti paramāṁ gatim. Om iti eka-akṣaram brahma. Vyāharan mama anusmaran. Prayāti tyajan deham. Yāti paramāṁ gatim.
Om eka-akṣaram brahma. Vyāharan mama anusmaran. Prayāti tyajan deham. Yāti paramāṁ gatim.
Om iti eka-akṣaram brahma.
Om eka-akṣaram brahma.
Vyāharan mam anusmaranam. Prayāti tyajan deham. Yāti paramāṁ gatim.
Om iti eka-akṣaram brahma. Om eka-akṣaram brahma. Vyāharan mama anusmaran. Prayāti tyajan deham. Yāti paramāṁ gatim. Om iti eka-akṣaram brahma.
Vyāharan mam anusmaranam. Prayāti tyajan deham.
Word to word meaning. Om. The combination of letters Om, oṁ-kāra. Iti, thus. Eka-akṣaram, the one syllable. Brahma, absolute. Vyāharan, vibrating. Mam, me, Kṛṣṇa. Anusmaran, remembering. Yaha, anyone who. Prayāti, leaves. Tyajan, quitting. Deham, this body. Saha, he. Yāti, achieves. Paramāṁ, the supreme. Gatim, destination. Translation, purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. Purport. It is clearly stated here that Om, Brahman and Lord Kṛṣṇa are non-different. The impersonal sound of Kṛṣṇa is Om, but the sound Hare Kṛṣṇa contains Om. The chanting of Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra is clearly recommended for this age. So if one quits his body at the end of life chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare, he certainly reaches one of the spiritual planets according to the mode of his practice. The devotees of Kṛṣṇa enter the Kṛṣṇa planet, Goloka Vṛndāvana. For the personalists, there are also innumerable other planets known as Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky, whereas the impersonalists remain in the brahma-jyotir. Om-ajnanatimmirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rāma Hare Rāma 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripasindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Welcome everyone. Before we discuss, I seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas so that I can speak for my own purification and also share what I understand through this verse. So, say suppose we are going to a movie, right? So we don't want to miss out the suspense in the movie. But there is a friend, he's already telling you what is happening in fast forward. So you don't have that zeal to watch the movie. So similarly, the people in this material world, they don't want to hear about death because they want to enjoy the material world. But this chapter is emphasizing how to attain Kṛṣṇa, how to attain the Supreme at the time of death. So the spiritualists, they are seeking out happiness because they already understood that material world has not much to offer to us. So they are seeking out happiness which is in a different realm. So Kṛṣṇa is helping them, Okay, you are aspiring for something better from the people who are in the material existence, who are not interested. Okay, let me help you. How do you attain me? So here Kṛṣṇa is going to answer questions of Arjuna in the first verse. And then he talks about at the time of death, whoever remembers me, that's where they will come back to me. And also material world is full of temptations. There are so many deviations. There are problems at every step. So even if someone is very much focused in their practice of this yoga system, still there can be so many accidents or there can be deviations. So Kṛṣṇa is warning us that, how do you channelize yourself so that you are not deviated. So here one word in the entire shloka that has to be focused upon is Maṁ anusmaran. So thinking about him, remembering Kṛṣṇa is the most important thing. So if bhakti is the predominating element present in the yoga sadhana of this particular yogi, then he will attain Vaikuntha or the spiritual planet. But in case if this yogi, his predominant bhakti is not predominant, then he would still go, but he would just end up in brahma-jyotir. So here we see that Om iti eka-akṣaram brahma. So, and vyāharan mama anusmaran. So how is this yogi leaving the body? At the time of the death, if someone is reciting Om, chanting, vibrating Om, and thinking about Kṛṣṇa, and then they will be directed to the spiritual planets. Now we will spend some time on understanding the nature of oṁ-kāra and what Krishna says about it in Bhagavad Gita. And also I took some points from Srila Prabhupada's purports from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna says, Pranavaham sarva vedeshu. I am the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. This is in Bhagavad Gita 7.8. So Krishna says that out of many, many incarnations, I also come as a sound incarnation. And I am also known as the oṁ-kāra. Right? And all the Vedas accept this thesis. So since oṁ-kāra is the basic principle of the Vedas, it is uttered before every Vedic hymn. So we say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And when we are applying tilak, we say Om Namo Om Keshavaya Nama, Om Narayanaya Nama, Om Govindaya Nama. So we are reciting the Lord. So the basic principle of all the Vedic mantras. So it is a representation of Krishna. And anyone who says that I know, I recite oṁ-kāra and I understand Vedas, then the next question should come is, do you understand Krishna? Krishna says, Vedesya sarvam ahameva vedyo. So the essence of all the Vedas is to know Krishna. Someone may recite or vibrate oṁ-kāra, someone may study all the Vedas, but they don't know Krishna. They're still very much incomplete. Because we understand that Krishna is incarnating himself as oṁ-kāra. And pranava is also means, this is the beginning. This is the trend of the Vedic hymns. This is the beginning. This is the first hymn. So many impersonalists, they're very much afraid to address Krishna with personal names. Govinda, Madhava, Madhusudana. But they want to utter only oṁ-kāra because they want to perceive the Supreme Lord in the impersonal form. But they don't realize that this oṁ-kāra is nothing but the sound representation of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the Purport to Bhagavad Gita 7.8 that this jurisdiction of the Krishna consciousness is pervading everywhere. It's for everyone. But who understands, they are out of illusion. But who doesn't understand, they're still caught up in the material bondages. So Mayavadi philosophers cannot understand these simple facts, which Krishna is explaining in Bhagavad Gita, that he is the oṁ-kāra and he is the source of all the Vedas. So, and the Vaishnava philosophers sometimes call these Vedantis as Vedantis. Vedantis means, V means without, Danti means teeth. So when they give these kind of arguments, the Vaishnava philosophers, they give a punch. So their teeth are broken, so they cannot utter something blaspheme to the Supreme Lord. Now here we see in the translation, Prabhupada says that it is made up of supreme combination, sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters. So Om means A-U-M, right? A means it is denoting to Krishna. Krishna is Sarva Lokaika Nayak. So he is the master of all living entities. He is the master of planets. And he is also master of both material and spiritual world. In 10.8 Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. I am the source of all material and spiritual worlds. So he is denoted. And eka-akṣaram, he is only the Supreme Person. The rest, there are many, many living entities, but they all are subordinates to Krishna. Nityo Nityanam Chaitana Chaitanasam. So he is eternal and he is the one, stands supreme. U means, it refers to Srimati Radharani, which means the pleasure potency of Krishna. And M means, indicates the living entities. So this Om is a complete combination of Krishna, his potencies, his eternal servants, and everything that is pervading in spiritual and material worlds. So that's how we understand Om is non-different from Krishna himself. So if a yogi is vibrating this oṁ-kāra and thinking about Krishna with a complete understanding, his destination will be to the spiritual world, to the Goloka Vṛndāvana or to the Vaikuntha planets. Now, oṁ-kāra represents Krishna, his name, his fame, pastimes, entourage, expansions, devotees, potencies, and everything else in it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Sarva Vishwa Dham oṁ-kāra. So oṁ-kāra is the resting place of everything, just like Krishna is the resting place of everything, like Brahmanohi Pratishthānam, right? Now Prabhupada here, to make it easy for us to understand that how he's saying that, oṁ-kāra is non-different from chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra, right, in the purport. So when we are chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra, what are we actually praying to the Lord? O Lord, O Krishna, the reservoir of pleasure, O Srimati Radharani, the energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. This is the same essence that we understand when we are chanting Om. And we also see the recurring theme of this chapter is remembering Krishna. The emphasis is placed on how important it is to remember Krishna all the time. Now, in the second canto, chapter 1, Sukadeva Goswami is advising Parikshit Maharaj, Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishwaro Hari Shrotavya Kittasya Smartavyasya Ichata Abhayam. O descendant of King Bharata, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul, the controller and savior from all kinds of miseries. So if we want to transcend the material miseries, material situations, we have to hear about Krishna, we have to glorify Krishna, and we have to remember Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada in the 6th canto, 16th chapter, in 53 and 54 purport, he mentions that in human form of life, one should understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and if someone understands Krishna, everything else will be understood. They will understand the Prakriti, they will understand the illusionary energy, they will understand the spiritual world, they will understand everything, the Brahman, the Paramatma, and Bhagavan aspects. But if someone doesn't make an endeavor to understand Krishna, then they don't understand anything. So for self-realization, one has to take up to the process that is recommended by Krishna himself. Also in the Shastra, there is one order and one prohibition, which is actually acting the principle, the main principle, and the rest of the orders and the prohibitions follow it as the servants. What is the order? That always remember Krishna. And what is the prohibition? Never forget Krishna. So these two are the order and prohibition, and they serve as the king. And the rest all are the servants to it. And this order and prohibition is not discriminatory. It is applicable to all people, all varnas, all ashrams, all castes, all creeds, all male or female. So, to support this verse, there is a verse from Padma Puran. Smartavya satatam Vishnur, Vishmatto na jatusit, Sarve vidhi nishedam syur, Etayor eva kinkara. Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu, and he should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastra should be the servants of these two principles. So we should always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Now, how can we remember Krishna always? By chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, he advises Arjuna that, you fight, but remembering me, thinking about me. So we cannot expect to remember Krishna at the time of death at once. When people say that, now is not the time for spiritual life, when I become old, when I'm retired, that is the time I want to take. But what is the guarantee that you will remember Krishna at that time? So Prahlad is saying that you have to start the spiritual life from the age of 5, because that will be ingrained, that you will learn how to aspire, how to come to that platform of always remembering Krishna and never forgetting Krishna. And Prabhupada is also saying, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantas Dridavratah. So we are chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare. So we are always remembering Krishna. So this is the real process. Either we remember Krishna as Krishna himself, or we remember Krishna as son of Mother Yashoda, or friend of Subal. That is also remembering Krishna. Or we are engaged in different kinds of devotional activities. If someone is cooking in the kitchen, they're thinking, oh, I want to make these sweets for Krishna. So they're thinking about Krishna, they're remembering Krishna. Someone is distributing books, and they're thinking that I want to introduce this person to Krishna. So they're thinking that, what are the ways I can give these books to Krishna. Or someone is in the management, they're thinking that, how can I facilitate that people can remember Krishna? What can I make the changes? How can I make things easier for them? So in every devotional activity, we see we are centered around these two principles. How we can become remembering Krishna and become Krishna conscious, like 24 hours. And also remembering Krishna will give us a chance to establish this personal relationship with Krishna, right? Otherwise, in the many yoga schools, they teach yoga teacher training, they teach pranayam, and one of the practices they also teach how to utter oṁ-kāra. But they don't have an understanding what is this oṁ-kāra about, establishing this relationship with Krishna, right? It is very impersonalistic way. And the material world, if you see, it is designed in such a way. Everywhere you go, it is impersonalism. And impersonalism is increasing. It is not just with the Mayavadis, but everywhere you go, there is impersonalism. Like with the technology growing, right? There is a person next to you, but you prefer to talk on the WhatsApp rather than to talk, right? There is a dropout in the communication skills. And because of that, there is a lot of isolation. People are facing loneliness, right? And people are getting burnt out because they don't know where to invest energy. So they've become workaholics, they've become, addicted to different kinds of drugs or, other illicit things. And also there is a reduced empathy amongst each other. So when we chant Hare Kṛṣṇa, we have to also remember that we are establishing this personal relationship with Krishna. If we don't acknowledge Krishna as person, how would the relationship grow anyway? Right? So chanting with complete understanding is another emphasis. This is hidden here, that we have to chant, understanding that Krishna and Krishna's name is non-different. Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasavigraha, Purna Shuddho Nityamukto, Abhinnatvam Nama Namino. Krishna and his name are not different. They are identical. And what is the nature of this holy name? The holy name of Krishna is transcendently blissful. It bestows all spiritual benedictions. Because it is Krishna himself, the reservoir of all pleasure. Now Krishna's name is complete and it is the form of all transcendental mellows. It is not the material name under any material condition, and it is no less powerful than Krishna himself. Since Krishna's name is not contaminated by material qualities, there is no question of its being involved with Maya. Krishna's name is always liberated and spiritual, and it is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. This is because the name of Krishna and Krishna himself are identical. So, again, the emphasis is chanting the holy name with more understanding, more appreciation, and more attentiveness. That will help us to develop that personal relationship with Krishna, and it also helps us to remember Krishna better. I was having this little experience in this morning. recently I went to Jagannath Puri and Mayapur Dham, and I was coming back. And last night my train got cancelled, so I couldn't catch the train. I was catching a morning train. So I got a ticket, and because it was instant, so I got a ticket and got into an unreserved bogie, like the general bogie. And you know, in India, how the trains are like really crowded. You know, there's no space to sit around. But anyways, I asked one Mataji to move so I can make some space, I can sit down. Before I sat down, someone else came and they grabbed the place. I was like, okay, fine, I'm not getting the space. Then I was like, okay, now I don't want to waste time looking around for space. Let me chant my rounds before I go to Mathura. So I was chanting my rounds. And after a few rounds, I started to see people around me. They started like, oh, this girl is chanting. Oh, she's doing bhajan. Let me offer my seat. Like there were 4 people, they were trying to offer seats. And I asked like, no, it's okay. I'm happy, you know, standing and chanting. And they were like, no, you sit down. You sit here. And one boy, he got up and he was like, I am so used to stand and travel. I don't need a seat. You sit down, you chant. And then my suitcase was somewhere else and I was sitting somewhere else and my bag was falling. And there were 2 people. Don't worry, you continue chanting. I will take care of your bag. We will hold your bag. And it is actually very insignificant incident, you know, in one sense. But I was thinking it became significant for me because Kṛṣṇa is involved. You know, before I was chanting, no one really bothered, you know, to give a seat. No one bothered about my luggage. But as I was chanting, they all thought that, you know, we should offer. And I was thinking that how there are so many material impediments in our material or spiritual lives. But if we just, it's very, very faith-giving experience, I would say. You know, I was thinking that how all the material impediments will be removed if we just take up to this chanting of the holy name. I'm just a neophyte. I don't even chant with attentiveness, you know. But still, this incident was very faith-giving. That, you know, Kṛṣṇa is teaching me that, you know, if you chant my names, I will take care of you, you know. And here, the yogi, he has to remember Kṛṣṇa at the time of death. But for us, if we keep chanting, Kṛṣṇa will take care of us. Even if we remember or if we don't remember. Even if we fail to remember, Kṛṣṇa will take us back home, back to Godhead. And also, I went to Jagannath Puri and I didn't know about, there is a market called Anand Bazaar. I don't know about this. So when I went there, I was like, wow, there is a market which is full of transcendental mercy and they are distributing prasadam, you know, you can just buy and get Jagannath's Mahaprasad. I was so amazed. Then I came to Mayapur and I was in Nityananda Trayadashi, I was there. And His Holiness Niranjan Swami Maharaj, he was chanting this beautiful prayer to Nityananda Ram. Hope it's okay if I chant this prayer. Nadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan Pratiyache Nama Harta Jibera Karan. So in the Godruma Deep, there is the Nadia district. And what did Nityananda Mahaprabhu do? He opened a marketplace, a transcendental marketplace, to sell out the holy names to all the living entities. Shadaban jane ho, Shadaban jane ho, Prabhura agna bhai magaye bhika. So he's saying that, oh faithful people who are attached to, you know, Mahaprabhu has asked me to, you know, pass this order. And what was this order? Bolo Kṛṣṇa, Bhajo Kṛṣṇa, Koro Kṛṣṇa Sika. So in the marketplace, he's saying that Mahaprabhu ordered me to give this charity. What was the charity? You please chant Hare Kṛṣṇa and worship Kṛṣṇa and learn and teach about Kṛṣṇa to others. Aparada sune hoy loha Kṛṣṇa naam, Kṛṣṇa mata, Kṛṣṇa pita, Kṛṣṇa dhana pran. Chant Kṛṣṇa's name without offense. Accept Kṛṣṇa as your mother. Accept Kṛṣṇa as your father. Accept Kṛṣṇa as your wealth and your life. Krishna re samsara korichari anachar. Jibadaya Krishna nam sarva dharmasar. Give up all the sins, make Krishna your whole world. Be merciful to all the souls and chant Krishna's names. That is the essence of all religion. Nadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan Pratiyachi Namaharta Jibera Karan. So we should be looking forward for these shopping in these marketplaces, where we can get the transcendental prasadam, where we can get the taste for the holy name, And and also the intelligent people in this Kali Yuga, they worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by engaging in Sankirtan Yajna. My spiritual master, His Holiness Devamrita Maharaj, was mentioning in one class that in the age of AI, artificial intelligence, do people even have real intelligence? But people who are engaged, who are part of this Sankirtan Yajna, they are the most intelligent people because they know the goal, they know the purpose of life, that not to look for happiness here. Their happiness is in the spiritual world, and it's only when we are connected to Krishna. Khale dosha niderajan asti he eko mahagunan kirtaneva krishnasya mukta sangha paramāṁ. The most important factor in this Kali Yuga, although there is ocean of faults, we see faults in everyone. The person next to us, the person before us, everyone we encounter, every circumstance, every situation, there are faults filled up. But there is one, what is that? Mahat Guna, the best of the qualities is chanting the holy names. Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma eva kevalam, kalo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatir anyata. So there is no other way, there is no other way than chanting the holy names of the Lord. And I also ask for forgiveness if I'm being impudent. Although I don't have this realizations of the holy name, neither I chant with attentiveness. But as we engage in Krishna consciousness, many circumstances and incidents, they become very faith-giving. And we are greatly fortunate. We became fortunate because of Srila Prabhupada. We became fortunate by having such a glorious Guru Parampara. We are fortunate because of our spiritual masters who are ready to guide us. We are fortunate because we are surrounded by Vaishnavas who have taste for this holy name. And we are fortunate that we have access to the Shastra, who is bringing back again and again to the main theme that, chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa is actually the prime goal, of our lives. So I seek for forgiveness because I have spoken something beyond my realizations, but definitely seek for blessings so that even I can aspire to chant better. If there are any questions or comments or any feedback you would like to give, I would be very grateful. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhu.
First of all, thanks for the wonderful class. I just want to know, as you were saying, Om, A is Krishna, U is Radharani,
Yeah.
and M is
Living entities.
living. And even Hare Kṛṣṇa also, requesting Radha and Krishna. So why it is referred Om as for the impersonalism and Hare Kṛṣṇa as wherever we chant?
No, Om is also personalism. But people misunderstand that way because they don't understand. Krishna has how he is mentioning, in the Bhagavad Gita, I am of the sound incarnations, I am the oṁ-kāra, right? So where is the impersonal aspect? But people, they don't understand. So that's why we put oṁ-kāra into the impersonal understanding. But actually, if we study the Vaishnava Shastra, a presentation of the Shastra, we understand that oṁ-kāra is not impersonalism, it's personalism. That's why we treat better. That's why again, Prabhupada, how he was mentioning that, the Vedantis, if they say that I am chanting oṁ-kāra and I know the Vedas, but they don't know Krishna, that means that They don't know Krishna. Right? Yeah.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Krishna Prabhu.
There is a fourth line in the purport. So, if one quits his body at the end of like chanting Hare
Hare
Kṛṣṇa,
Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare.
he certainly reaches one of the spiritual planets until it's okay.
According,
Then Prabhupada said, according to the mode of his practice.
yeah.
If mode of practice means mode of sattva, mode of rajaguna, mode of ignorance. In case mode of ignorance means what he will be there, what will be the destination?
Maybe brahma-jyotir. Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. But if you take, it is not the bhakti is in the modes, but the practitioner is in the modes. Right? And like in the Canto 3, Kapiladev discusses that, how bhakti, the practitioners can be in different modes. Like also we see when we draw this line of putting Kanishtha-adhikaris, Madhyama-adhikaris and Uttama-adhikaris. Kanishtha-adhikaris, they know Krishna, they come and worship Krishna, but they don't know how to deal with the devotees, right? So they are pretty much in the mode of ignorance. But when it comes to Madhyama-adhikaris, they know how to treat the seniors, they know how to treat the equals, they know how to be compassionate to their juniors. So their level of bhakti is again different. And Uttama-adhikari, they don't see faults in anyone. Right? Yeah.
As you were saying, you were traveling the train and you were chanting, it was really very inspiring. Where really Krishna definitely helps the person to chanting. We have seen, and personally I also may experience this.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was like very faith-giving because I was really like touched by those people's change of mentality, like in few minutes. Yeah, I was like, wow, like a miracle that we are able to see. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't have noticed, but I was like, wow, this is something. And like there were 3 or 4 people that were fighting, like, we want to give you the seat, we want to give you the seat. And I'm like, what happened few minutes ago? I was begging for the seat, So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's again, Krishna is, in giving us that maybe I can aspire to chant better, take shelter of him. Yeah.
And when we serve the Krishna, normally we see that people love their life, whosoever it is like. Generally, it's in the Bhagavad Gita, it's slowly that if somebody is like devoted to Krishna, naturally he is positive on all other people also. Something like that.
No, this is again in the 4th canto, right? When you water the root of the tree, everything else will be taken care. When you feed the stomach, all the body parts are nourished. And when you worship Krishna, all the demigods are also taken care. So similarly, if we practice bhakti, people automatically become non-envious. There's also a shloka in the 4th canto this is a discussion between Prithu Maharaj and the 4 Kumaras. And they said that, wherever there is discussion of Krishna and his topics, the people, even for the time being, they become non-envious. This is the effect, like people become really non-envious. Otherwise, there would be so much envy. And Prabhupada says that is how we make even the material world the Vaikuntha planet, where there is no envy. Vaikuntha means no anxiety, right? But material world means kunta. This is all anxiety. Yeah. If there are any more corrections or
Just another question, but you're so humble and you were chanting so sincere, that's what they saw. They heard the holy name and they saw you so nicely chanting. That's why
I don't know about that. But yeah, but definitely I saw Krishna's hand there. It was very sweet to see, because yeah, I pray that I can really humbly chant. It's difficult.
Definitely I can follow your footsteps.
No, Mataji, I should. I take dust of your lotus feet. If there are any no more questions or feedback or reflections, we can close here. Thank you so much. Please forgive me for all my shortcomings. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.